Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 4, Episode 7. My bloody Galentines. Child, it was a mess. Child, let's get into it if we're gonna get into it. Oh, but before we get into it, if you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. And yes, I said if, honey. If you like it, then click the like button. Now, child, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. So when the episode first opens up, Kimmy and her cute ponytail, they go to meet Destiny at Madani, and she wants the backstory on what's going on between her and Melody. So she asks Destiny, what's going on with y'all? And she's like, I don't really know, child. You don't? Girl, you know what's going on with y'all. So Kimmy says that they've been into it before, but this time just feels a little bit different. She feels like on both their parts that Destiny seems more upset and Melody seems more upset this time. So Destiny was like, really, I'm just more annoyed because of what happened when I went to go sit down with her. Like, she was in there making up stuff. Well, honey, I don't know about that, but it looks like she had a few receipts in the form of text messages, if you ask me. Unless you're saying she fabricated those texts. Now, honey, other than that, I guess what you're talking about is the other side of it, which would have to do with Tisha. But as far as those text messages, honey, it was in black and white. So Destiny was like, look, she said I was talking about her to Tisha and I was not. So Kimmy said, oh yeah, she told me that when we went to lunch. Destiny said, okay, so what did I say? What did she say I said? Kimmy said, well, we didn't get into the specifics. Destiny said, yes, because there's no specific. Kimmy said, oh, okay, well, she said that you apologized. So for me, that equates that you were talking some about her. So Destiny said, I apologize if she felt that I was, or if she thought I was talking about her. Now, me personally, I'm not apologizing for nothing I wasn't doing. Even if you felt like I was doing it, I'm not going to apologize. I will clarify for you, and I'm going to leave it right there. But I'm not going to apologize. An apology could be looked at as an admission of guilt. And honey, I'm not guilty. If I said I didn't talk about you and I wasn't talking about you and whatever you thought you heard through the door and the peephole and whatnot, I didn't say it. So therefore, and thus and such, I ain't apologizing. So I'm kind of like, Kimmy, girl, if you apologize, then that means that you did in fact say something. Honey, everybody lying. Moving forward. So Kimmy is looking like, say what now? Maybe because Kimmy is confused. So then Destiny repeats that Mel said that it wasn't what she was saying, but who she was saying it to. So Kimmy said, okay, I have a question. Did you think that her and Tisha were getting back on the right track? Honey, I sure did. But you know what? I feel like the reunion derailed it. I rewatched the reunion. After the reunion, that derailed any plans of them getting back on track, honey. A blind man could see that. So Destiny said, well, I thought they were in a good place. And Kimmy said, I was a little bit confused too, because for real though, it came as a surprise to me because I thought that they were good. Mel didn't appreciate Tisha saying that she wasn't a good friend or she don't know how to be one. And when she said that, Mel got mad. When Tisha said, when Mel needs you, she cool with you. And when she gets herself together, she's not cool anymore. That was the nail in the coffin, honey. That took them 20 steps back, okay? They started back at 1. Shout out to Brian McKnight. It just ain't happening, okay? So just leave it alone, honey. Sometimes you ain't got to be friends with everybody. You just don't. Moving forward. And quiet as it's kept, last season, Mel wasn't being the best friend. So Tisha saying that she doesn't know how to be a good friend. Last season, she was not being a good friend to Destiny. Have we forgotten the birthday brunch when Tiffany came in there and dropped that bomb and then decided to just sit there and drink a mimosa? Hell no, ma'am. Please get up and exit stage left after you just ruined my birthday. Then had the audacity to get in the confessional and say, it's your party and you should cry because I want you to. Absolutely not, honey. And let's not act like we forgot, because don't think I forgot. So Kimmy has this idea for them to do a girls' night. So Destiny was like, am I going to be able to exit? Is it going to be drinks involved? Because now I need to get up and go. Well, child, all I can tell you is this. Please don't go to nobody's house. Because once y'all go to somebody's house, it'd be a whole fool all the way up and through. Kimmy told her that she had to work out the details and whatnot. In the next scene, Marceau drops by Maurice's office in his new coat. Y'all can tell when a coat got a little seasoning on it and when it's new, child. Shout out to Marceau. Marceau, you have come a long way from wearing the sculpt polo, hard hat, and jeans. Honey, y'all know how you used to dress seasons 1 through 3? Child, now you putting a little blaze on and whatnot. You are really zhuzhing it up. Child, got your little piece and chain on. Y'all know I love a little piece and chain. Child, y'all know I'm crazy. But honey, now he's trying to dress like a little bit of money. So they sit down, they start talking about Marceau's projects, and Marceau is telling Maurice that Hotel wants to get Scope back together. And he feels like after talking to Martell at Black, he's a totally different person. But Tisha ain't feeling it. I wouldn't be feeling it either. I would not have absolutely anything, and I do mean anything, to do with Hotel Holt. Nothing. So Marceau feels like he needs to talk to Tisha because, you know, that's the person that's really going to say what needs to be said. So he reveals to us that Tisha sold her apartment complex. Get into it. Okay. So she had the money to buy out Martell. Okay. First, I'm going to say this. I would have sold my apartment complex. Girl, do you know that is residual income forever and a day? Forever, ever, forever, ever? Shut up, Outcast. Tisha, you are making boss moves. Honey, you are a silent killer. No wonder Marceau wanted you tied up in that house. Honey, So anywho, she had an apartment complex that she's had since 2010, and she decided to sell it to buy out Martell. So Maurice is like, okay, well, if Tisha is majority shareholder, who's selling, you or her? Me personally, if Martell doesn't get himself together, he wouldn't be able to be involved with me, honey. I know it's not going to be him that's going to sell the shares. So poor Tisha is out once again, and he ain't fooling me. Tisha, I'm speaking directly to you, honey. Do not sell those shares. Don't sell them. Let Martell start his own company. So Marceau is like, well, we need to test it first, and we're going to test it out of Destiny's project and whatnot. Because if he can do it, you know, a small project, then he's ready for the big leagues. So Maurice thinks that it's going to be a tough sell as far as Tisha is concerned because of the way that they sever ties. I ain't letting nobody that caused me so much mess come back into the fold with me. So Maurice basically said, without saying, that Martell is a great partner, and he's a great person to, you know, partner with and do business with, but he needs to get that builder's license. So Marceau was like, well, you know, him getting the license is going to show his commitment. But right now, him buying back into the business, that's off the table right now. So Maurice was like, well, did you tell him that? Here he go. I mean, it's not completely. Marceau, listen, he thinks that he's buying back in. So I'm going to need you to tell him because he's banking on this. Always leeching off somebody. Ugh, a little life sucker. In the next scene, Mel goes to see her therapist after the divorce. She said she wanted to make sure that she was in a good headspace. Let me tell you something. After dealing with all that Hotel put her through, I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all, honey. She should have had a therapist on speed dial from the moment she said I do. Child, I don't put nothing past Martell. And that is great that she is making sure that her mental health is a priority because, you know, oftentimes you get the divorce and you internalize things, you know, you really got to let it out. So I do like that she's doing that. And Mel, let me just say, honey, this is just a side note. Mel, you looked good in this confessional. Okay, you look good, girl. Look well, look like you dropped a few pounds. Okay, get into it. So the therapist starts asking what Mel is doing to stay grounded. And she said that she's meditating. And then she asked about if she's creating boundaries, you know, socially. Oh, therapist, you ain't got to worry about that child. When she got that down pat, okay? Get a gold star. Maybe she gonna get a gold sticker when it comes to the boundaries and whatnot. So Mel said that she had removed all the energy vampires because basically they were sucking the energy out of her. And she tells her that Kimmy's going to get all the ladies together and she don't know how that's going to go because she don't think that they're ready for all that. And y'all ain't. So Mel is telling her, she said, look, I can deal with being respectful, having respectful conversations. Not respectful, honey, because the way you was acting at that sit down, we're going to get into that in a minute, honey. I don't want to jump the gun. But anywho, she says she can deal with them being respectful, but if they get mouthy, she turns up and she can't turn down. So the therapist basically said, oh, okay, well, that's good. But, you know, I do feel that people can take you to a negative place. So I feel like you need to stay away from them. And she tells her that that's a really wise thing that she's doing that. And I have to agree. Because if I see that you get to me, I'm not going to be around you. I'm going to keep my distance from you. So, I mean, I guess that's a good thing. So the therapist is like, look, with you wanting to address things, we need to talk about how you're going to handle that. Like who gets what energy? Child, everybody getting the energy as far as I'm concerned. So Mel said, well, you know, last year I was all kumbaya and 2022, I'm a little bit different. Mel, I remember you being no kumbaya, honey. I mean, if it's time to go there, I feel like you're going to go there. But if you say so, moving forward. Child, I'm not about to argue with y'all. I'm not about to argue with y'all about no melody, honey. I'm not about to do it. Mel feels like they take her kindness for weakness, so she's going to give them what she gets. In the next scene, Martell goes to see his business partner, honey, and I'm doing air quotes. His name is Fred. And he says since the divorce that he hasn't been working or building. Of course not. Of course you haven't been doing anything, Hotel. The nucleus is gone. The brains of the operation, Pinky. No, you ain't been doing nothing. Boy, please. Anyway, he said he's ready to get his feet wet again. Getting things wet is why you over here by yourself. But if you want to get your feet wet, go ahead, honey. It's neither here nor there. Child, it's neither here nor there. So he and Fred are talking business, and Fred brings up getting his license. And honey, what do you say that for? He's like, look, I got the books, I got the bookmarkers, everything's highlighted. Here you go. Fred is basically saying, sir, get the license. I told y'all we need to start a hashtag on Twitter, hashtag Martell's Builder's License. We really need to start that, honey, because he ain't going to do it no other kind of way. But what you need to get him, Fred, is get your builder's license for dummies. Y'all know they got a whole little plethora of books that you can choose from if you need to know how to do something, honey. He need the Cliff Notes. Y'all know they make those books for everything. He needs some of them. But in all seriousness, though, he might not be a good test taker. I was thinking about this because I'm like, why does this mean? But the test is open book. So I'm not understanding what's happening. But Martell, why you sitting there saying everybody want Martell to get my license? Yes. Okay. But they can't care more than you care. And if you're going to be a business partner, you have to be an asset, not just a walking liability. You ain't bringing nothing to the table. He's like, well, I got you, so there's no reason for me to get my license. There's no way I would have let Martell sit in my face and tell me, I'm using you, so why do I need to work? That's basically what you're saying. It's a spit and a slap in my face, and it would have got you cussed out. Baby, please. Hell no. See, he wants everyone else to do the work while he coasts on his good looks. I would sever ties with him immediately. Do y'all hear me? And he ain't playing either. He was really sitting there seriously like, dude, what do I need to get my builder's license for? I got you. So Fred was like, well, what if we fall out right now? What you gonna do? So Martell proceeds to rationalize the reason why he's not getting that license. He's like, well, it took my wife 12 years to leave me. But men are different. We gonna talk things out. And you're not sleeping with Fred. That's the difference. Fred didn't have 4 kids for you. That is the difference. That was your wife. How dare you compare her staying with you for 12 stupid years to you being over here with this man leeching off for him as a business partner? You gonna find a way to be misogynistic if you don't do nothing else. It's the ignorance for me. Anywho, y'all know how I feel about Martell. I do not like Martell. And that's that on that. So Martell is doing all this talking, but my thing is this. Do you even hear the things that are coming out of your mouth? Child, ain't nothing but a user. Moving forward. Martell is like, we ain't gonna fall out. So, I really don't need a builder's license. So then he gets in his confessional line saying that he's working on it. Sir, good day. And nice suit, by the way. It fits you in the arm part because, normally them arms be a little bit snug. Child, this is a mess. In the next scene, it's time for the Galentines Day party. So Tiffany arrives first. Hey, girl. And Kimmy wants all the ladies to get that old thing back. So she's trying to get the group back together, and she's hoping that they can have some warm conversations, and hopefully it's going to work out. So Tiffany and Kimmy, they talking and whatnot, and Tisha shows up. Tisha, not you showing up in this sweatshirt, child, talking about some teen wife. Tisha, stop it. Okay? And she not in there 5 minutes, not in the building 5 minutes, and she bringing up the party that she was not at. Tisha, get in there first. Don't start that. Don't start yet, girl. Wait till you get in. So Kimmy is giving the rundown on how not to start the conversation. She's like, listen, don't be saying girl and stuff. Tisha was like, is that rude? It is rude depending on the way that you say it. Because you can say girl, or you can say girl, or you can say girl. It's a way. You see how it went up and down with me? You see how the octaves changed, honey, and that attitude changed a little bit? So just leave the word girl at home, child. Just leave it at home. So as she's telling them to make sure that you're leading with kindness, just then, Mel and Stormy walk in. And honey, Stormy looking like something stank, child. So she walks in and Tisha is looking down at her phone. Here go Melody. The energy from Tiffany and Kimmy, it's good, but Tisha didn't even acknowledge us. Why would she acknowledge you? Huh? You don't like her. She's your enemy, remember? Listen to me. When you enter a room, especially in the South, you are the one to speak. So really and truly, therefore, and thus and such, you're the one that's in the wrong. You entered the room and you didn't want to speak to her. You just used to her kissing your ass. Okay? And last time she came to try to talk to you, she got escorted out the event by Gomer Powell, the rent-a-cop. Or did we forget that? Mel, please be quiet, honey. If she would have spoken to you, it would not have been received well. So just stop it. She's like, well, I haven't seen Tisha in months, mind y'all. But her energy is telling me that Tisha is on that bull for 2022. Mel, you don't think word has gotten back to this woman about her cousin being at your house? Are you saying that she's your enemy? I'm confused. Like, what are you talking about? You don't want Tisha to speak to you. You don't like her. Girl, goodbye. You see how I just said girl? Moving forward. So she was like, you know what? My high hopes for this event has really just gone down because Tisha didn't speak to you. Come on now, Mel. So then Destiny walks in and gave a little twerk, honey, and doing what she does. And Mel didn't acknowledge her. Okay. So you didn't acknowledge her, but you wanted Tisha to acknowledge you. And you know why you didn't acknowledge Destiny? Because you're on the outs. So that makes sense for you not to acknowledge her. Child, y'all getting on my central nervous system. Y'all really are getting on my nervous system. It ain't making no sense. It's a double standard. You want Tisha to speak to you, but you didn't speak to Destiny. Girl gone. So Kimmy starts explaining the meaning of the Galentines Day and what her hope is for the event. And y'all know what it's giving me? It's giving Married to Medicine lemon squeeze. Y'all remember when Dr. Jackie was trying to get the heifers together because they was acting a fool all the way up and through Atlanta? And that's what this is giving me. It's giving very much lemon squeeze. Okay, Dr. Jackie. Now paging Dr. Kimmy, Dr. Melody, Dr. Tisha. Child, this is a mess. So Kimmy gives them an exercise. She wants them to write a positive thing about themselves, and then on the other side, write a misconception about themselves. So Kimmy reads Mel's first, then she reads Tisha, and Tisha was like, well, I need to change mine. I need to change it to naive. Tisha, stop being passive aggressive, okay? Don't start none, ain't gonna be none, girl, stop. So Mel said in her confessional, oh, she said that she needs to change it to naive, but you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing about that. I'm gonna let y'all decide. Oh, okay, well, I've decided. Okay, she's just as naive as you were when you laid down with Hotel and had yet another kid because she wants her marriage to work and you wanted yours to work. But Martell cannot be reined in. Honey, you couldn't even keep him in there with quarantine happening. We were in the middle of a global panorama and this dog was out finding somewhere to put his leg up in a fire hydrant to piss on. So, I mean, if we're going to say naive, it's quite a few of us that's giving naivete all the way up and through the Huntsville streets. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. So then she reads Stormy's, then she reads Tiffany's, and then she reads Destiny's. Moving forward. So Kimmy starts talking, right? And Tisha interrupts. She's like, can I pause you for a second? I'm like, oh my God. So she's like, well, I heard people were looking for me. Here I go. I mean, that's really what she was giving. I was like, Tisha, let me tell you something. I am happy that you are standing up for yourself, child. But why come out the gate like that, honey? Be direct if you gonna say it. That's like shooting a subliminal on Instagram. At me, honey. Come directly at it. Speak directly to Mel. Say it to her. She's 2 feet away. So Mel said, well, who was talking about you? Tisha said, you. So Tisha said, Kiki told me that you were trying to get her to say things about my husband. So Mel said, so Kiki told you that I was trying to get her to say things about your husband? She said, absolutely. Ooh, child. So then Mel picks up the phone, child, and she calls Kiki. Boop, 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 boop. Brr. Hello? Tisha's like, you're on speakerphone, so don't lie. Tisha, no. Don't tell her she on speakerphone. Allow it to unfold. Tisha, you be speaking at the wrong times. Honey, don't speak your speech right now. Let Kiki say what she gonna say. What you saying she on speakerphone got to do with anything? So she was like, well, I don't know why you would expect me to tell a lie. I don't know why you would expect anything different. Kiki, you can't be trusted, honey, and I'm gonna stand on that. You can't be trusted at all, child, until you prove me different. So Stormy pipes up and she was like, well, Kiki was the one that had a lot to say about you. And Kiki said, well, your name came up. Nobody was just sitting around talking about you. Mel said, yeah, nobody was. Oh, really? So am I confused, or did you ask Kiki? Now, this is just what we were privy to seeing, honey. I don't know what was behind the scenes because you know they like to get on camera and talk about stuff we didn't see and have all of us fighting each other. I hate that. That's just a side note. But you did ask about Marceau and Tisha, so I'm a little bit confused. So Kiki brings it back to Stormy, and Tisha said, well, Stormy saying you said it, and you saying Stormy said it, so who said it? Kiki said, well, I don't really know who it was. So baby, what she say that for? So Kimmy said, oh, well, let me help you. Okay. Let me just refresh your memory, honey. She was like, let me refresh that short-term amnesia you got. Kimmy said, you had more than your fair share to say, and I told you in the kitchen that if you felt some kind of way, that you should pick up the phone and you should call Tisha directly. Now, when Kimmy said that, it made it seem like it was more being said than just what we saw. It was like maybe Kiki was going in, and Kimmy was sitting there like, well, dang, is that how you really feel? Well, why don't you just say that to her face? That's what that was giving me, but I might be wrong. Child, let's continue. And this is why Kiki is a no for me. Okay, you're not acting like my family. You're not acting like it. You wouldn't be in this mess if you were not there, invite or no invite. And then you sit down and Kiki and Kaka about me? Absolutely not. But what we really need to bring it around to, and I don't think Mel was catching on to this, where did you get this information from? Because Mel, you need to swing back over Kimmy's way and ask her why she relayed the message in such a way. See, y'all not understanding what's happening. Okay, if you're saying nobody was sitting up talking to you like that or talking about her like that, why didn't you say, where did you hear that from? Is Kiki the one who told you this? Because really and truly, Kiki is not the one that went back to start the conversation. The conversation was initiated because Kimmy is now aligning herself with Tisha. Anyway, so it was just a whole big old mess and you shouldn't have been there. All of a sudden, Kiki remembers that she did say some things and she gonna say, well, I ain't say nothing that wasn't true. Kimmy said, okay, well, that's a lot different than you didn't say nothing. Yes, ma'am, honey. Got caught in a little lie. Moving forward. So then Melody hangs up the phone and she tells Tisha, she was like, you were not the topic of conversation. Like the picture came up that Marceau posted. I'm gonna have to rewatch that scene because I don't know if I remember it quite that way. Honey, and I don't want y'all piping up. So I'm going to have to make sure I rewatch it because I don't remember that. So Tisha said, well, it got back to me that it was a bash Tisha moment. And I just wanted to address it. So Stormy is like, yeah, your name came up because your cousin. Stormy, stop lying. Okay, stop lying. You saying that because Kiki is not here to defend herself. But she did not bring Tisha up first. She was prompted to talk about Tisha. Mel asked her a question and then she started up. Girl, anyway. So Tisha is like, well, you know, it's just interesting to me that she was there at all. Honey, it was. So Tisha calls it out, baby. She's like, Kiki has never been your friend. Honey, as long as I've been hanging with you, I've never known Kiki to be your friend or y'all to ever hang out. So Mel is like, we're not, okay, I don't talk to everybody every day. We don't hang out. But, you know, so Mel is trying to explain herself, right? So Tisha said, well, y'all were never friends. Mel said, but I knew Kiki before I knew you. So Tisha said, yeah, you knew of her, but she was never your friend. I was your friend. Child, not the facts, honey. And Mel is not refuting the claims. So Tisha tells her that she has a problem with them talking about her and her husband, and she was not there to defend herself. So Mel was like, y'all not that important. So then she's like, so you're mad at all of us for talking about a picture? Come on, Mel. Just own it. Just own it. If it was just about a picture, Kimmy would not have ran it back. Just own it. Tisha said, no, you. I'm mad at you, Mel, because you were talking about my husband and my family. You. So Mel is like, see, this is childishness. Mel, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Now, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you half a point. The way she started to address the table, that gave childish. But nothing about addressing her name being brought up at a party that she wasn't at is childish. That's not childish. That's her wanting to get to the bottom of it. That's the same thing that you would have done. Like, girl, okay. Moving forward. So Kimmy is like, well, that lasted all of a minute. And it did. So then Destiny pipes up about why she wasn't there. And she was like, what was the cause? I mean, they said that you wanted to bring in the new year with people that you wanted to be around. Okay, that's fair. Like, if I don't want to bring you into my personal space, if we're in a bad place, then I have a right to do that. So I don't think that that was bad. Okay, but I don't know why Kiki was there, honey. Child, not Kiki. So Destiny is trying to get to the bottom of why this is happening. And she's like, okay, so you said one is that Tisha is your op and we're cool. And Mel is like, well, it was multiple issues. And Destiny was like, okay, but that was one of them. So Tisha goes, what's an op? Oh my gosh. Not Tisha. You ain't never heard of an op? Girl, goodbye. Child, I just can't. So Kimmy gives Webster's Dictionary's definition of an op. Child, this is a mess. So Tisha is wondering when she became the op. She was like, what? Why I'm your op? So Mel pays her dust, honey, because she wants to refocus on Destiny. So Destiny is like, so I can't be there because I'm friends with your op, but you bring her blood cousin. Like, make it make sense, girl. This is not making no sense. Like, what are you even talking about? Well, I mean, Destiny does have a point, honey. I'm trying to keep score. So 1 point for Mel, 1 point for Destiny. Honey, I don't know who got the points, but here we go. Destiny has a point. So Mel was like, well, it's because Kiki never said anything bad about me. Nah, that ain't what it is. It's because Kiki and you shared a common dislike for Tisha, and you ain't fooling me. Y'all know that saying. It's like any like person that likes my enemy is a friend of mine or something like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about, honey. If we dislike the same person, we cool by default. Okay, because you don't like that, and neither do I. Moving forward. So Mel was like, that's childish. You know what? We should have taken a shot every time they said the word childish. Why is everybody's point childish, but yours is valid, Melody? Why? I just want this to be fair all the way around the board. And for those of you that are going to get down in the comments saying, you're not hearing Melody, stop, okay? I have literally called out every shortcoming of every person in every scene. So don't try. Don't do it. Don't do it. So they start going back and forth and back. And so Destiny asks Mel, what did I say negatively about you? So then Tisha chimes in. And Mel says, first of all, bitch, I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to her. Bitch. Okay, that's what she would have lost me. That's what she would have lost me, honey. I'm telling y'all right now. Like, why are you calling me out of my name? Okay, like, why? Girl, not you gonna call this girl up and get to piping up because you're deflecting from answering the question. What did she call you? What did she say? What was the negative stuff? We want to know. It's because they're hitting you with the truth. That's what's happening. Girl, this is a mess. A fool. So Tisha jumps up. She's like, bitch, I'm not gonna be your bitch. And so Mel jumps up. So Kimmy's like, well, we can't call people out of their name. We can't call people out of their name. So Mel is like, well, don't bring me around people I don't fool with. Well, Melody, you could have declined the invitation. So Kimmy is like, well, we can be rah-rah. You can say whatever you want to say, but calling her a bitch, that's a no. We can't do that. So Mel completely ignores what she's saying and she starts in on something else. Now, let me guess. She should have called Tisha a bitch, right? Because I know how things are going to get to spinning. I'm sure some kind of way this will be Tisha's fault and Tisha will be in the wrong because she had something to say about this woman calling her out of her name. She did not call Melody out of her name. Okay? I just want to make that clear. Mel, you would have a fit if Tisha called you a bitch. A fit. Okay? A whole conniption. So Mel was like, well, you know what I hate? I hate when Tisha is chiming in when I'm trying to speak to Destiny. That's what happened at the reunion. That's why this is going the way it's going. So then they show a flashback. Melody, Tisha did not interrupt y'all. She didn't say nothing. And let me tell y'all something. I went back and I rewatched their reunion because I wanted to make sure that I gave an unbiased review. And I also wanted to make sure that I knew what the hell I was talking about. In that clip, Tisha makes like a little gesture and Carlos goes to Tisha and asks her what she has to say. So then she speaks a little bit of her speech. So then Tisha says, well, you know what? That's between them. You know what? Let me just be quiet. I don't want to say nothing. Let me just be quiet. Carlos then says, no, we want to hear from you. This is an open forum. So she did not just pipe up and interject when you and Destiny were speaking. You just hate everything about her. Point blank and a period. Y'all just don't like each other. And that's that on that. I said what I said and I ain't changing it. So Mel was like, she always piping up. So Tisha is letting her know that she's not going to just sit here and act like you ain't talking about me. She's going to defend herself. So Kimmy is telling them that everybody needs to speak their speech. But if it's going to work, y'all have to talk to each other respectfully. So then Mel says, well, why ain't you say nothing to them when they were saying the word girl? Why didn't you stand up then? Mel, you were wrong for calling Tisha out of her name. Acknowledge that. Okay, just acknowledge that. So Kimmy said, okay, listen to me. I told them before you got here, don't use the word girl. I said that. I literally told them, do not say the word girl. So then Mel was like, well, you know, I'm matching energy. So then Stormy pipes up and she starts asking what Tisha being the op has to do with Destiny and her not being friends. So Destiny was like, ask her. She said, no, I'm asking you though. Oh, child. And I'm asking everybody this. Is Tiffany still there? And I'm also asking y'all this. So why is it okay for Stormy to interject, but not Tisha? See what I'm saying? I don't know how y'all don't see it. I don't understand, honey. So Destiny said, well, I don't understand what's going on, so you need to ask her. So Kimmy said, well, Stormy, okay, They both can answer the question. I'm not sure why Destiny is choosing not to answer the question, but both of them can answer. So Stormy said, but I'm asking her though. Okay, Stormy. And she answered you by saying, ask her. Basically, what she's saying to you is, if it were up to me, we would still be cool. But since we're not cool, ask her what the problem is. Because I keep trying to figure it out and I don't know what's happening. So ask her. And just so you know, just because you ask someone a question doesn't mean they have to answer you. Girl, goodbye. So Mel tells Destiny why she's in the place that she's in when it comes to the friendship that they had. Okay, and apparently had was a buzzword because Destiny said had. And so she backs away from the table. So Kimmy is like, no, we're not going to do this when I'm mediating. We're not going to do this. And so Destiny looks at Kimmy and Kimmy was like, see, you're being aggressive right now. So Destiny said, you know what? Yep, you're right. You're right. So when Mel said had, Destiny, she's letting you know that your friendship is no longer. Okay? So take that and run with it. So Kimmy tells Destiny that she should have let Mel speak. She's like, you can't just interrupt people when they're speaking. And so Destiny was like, you're right. Okay. So then Destiny said, I'm not going to say nothing else. Now Mel don't want to talk. So then Stormy pipes up yet again. And she goes, well, I wouldn't even say nothing after that. I wouldn't even go after that. Destiny's like, well, you're not Mel, so let Mel speak. So Stormy's like, you don't talk to people like that. Like what? All she said was the word had. She wasn't expecting Melody to be so finite when speaking about their friendship. Pipe down, ma'am. Honey, you're new. Kimmy, what exactly is Stormy Weather doing here? If anything, you should have invited Kiki. Do you love me? Are you riding? Shout out to Drake. You should have invited Kiki. Child, this is a mess. So they start going back and forth and back, giving me very much Marlo and Sheree in Africa. Child, they was doing that and all that mess. And Stormy is like, you want to be like me. I understand. You want to be like me. I want to be like me too. And everybody in the 90s wanted to be like Mike. Child, this is a mess. What is happening? Now this, okay, Melody, this right here is childish. This exchange, this is childish. So Stormy was like, you don't want to do that. So Destiny returns serve. So Destiny gets up and Stormy basically calls her too broke to come at her like that. And so baby, Destiny getting nuck if you book. So is Stormy. They getting ready to rumble in the jungle, honey. Tisha pushing her out. I'm like, okay, child, this is a whole fool. Now, number one, sometimes you have those people that are all mouth and they really ain't about that action. I feel like Stormy will street fight. She seems like a street fighter. So Destiny, you might want to sit this one out. But Stormy, okay, this is the OWN channel, the Oprah Winfrey Network. It ain't giving Mona Scott and them. So let's just pipe down. But basically at the end of the day, honey, it was just a bunch of misunderstandings and miscommunication and people should have been talking one-on-one. And if Kimmy, if you gonna moderate a situation or be the mediator or anything that begins with an M, you should have given clear instructions on how it was gonna go. Hey, you're gonna speak, and then when that person's done, then you're gonna speak, because it was given the brawl for it all. Now, this is what I took from all of this. Basically, both Mel and Destiny are mad at each other because they have new friends. She keeps saying, you can be friends with anybody. No, you don't like the fact that her and Tisha are friends. You don't like that. Okay? Destiny, you don't like the fact that Mel is now friends with Stormy. You don't like that. And that was the end of the episode. And baby, it's a to be continued. And the heifers are still arguing. And next thing you know, Tisha gonna get up out her seat. Tisha, everybody stay seated, child. Everybody stay seated. And Mel, please get Stormy. Because when Destiny piped up on Tiffany when y'all were in Vegas, you made sure to correct her. So please correct Stormy. Y'all please comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode respectfully. Because I think sometimes y'all get a little bit out of pocket, and I'm very respectful to all of y'all. And this is just a lighthearted review. We don't know these people. Y'all don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Happy Mother's Day. Peace.